bigger details, like how I can have a better relationship with a dog that I happen to love, that I'm going to, God willing, have for the next 15 years. I'm not likely to have that belief at all. Okay, so what's more, if you're careless now, what happens when I pay you? I mean, and so, I mean, not everybody thinks this way. But I'll tell you that a lot of people do, especially those that have been burned once or twice. And so you just need to be aware that even though that might not be how you look at it, a great many of your potential clients are going to look at it that way, which is why it is so important to understand that the details are very, very critical to your success. Also, remembering the big picture. This goes back to behavior. Some clients will be unreasonable. It's the nature of any service business. And so I will simply suggest to you that no one client is worth a referral relationship. I remember I had a policy. You know, group classes were especially tough because you have a finite number of students that you can take in a class. So anybody that comes to class, that pays to come to class, is taking up a spot. So basically, I had a policy where I would give a refund if they did one lesson and they didn't like it. I'd give them a refund. After that, no refunds. Okay, I did a 7-week class. You know, if you didn't like the first lesson, that's fair. You didn't get to take 3 or 4 and then come to me and say, I want my money back. And almost nobody did. But I had one client that went to the first lesson and then she didn't show up for week 2. And in those days, I called everybody to find out what was going on. You know, hey, I noticed you didn't come to class. Can I help? Is there anything I can suggest to you? You're having problems with your dog, that kind of a thing. Well, I called and left a message. She didn't call me. Didn't show up to week 2. Week 3, didn't show up to week 3. I called after week 3. She still didn't call me back, and I let it go after that. 2 calls was all I could do. I had a lot of business. On week 5, she showed up to class late, wanting a refund. So my first reaction, well, my first thought was no, but my first reaction, my first response to her was, I tell you what, why don't you can come to the next full class series after this for free. I mean, we'll just recycle you. You can go through. No, I don't want to do that. Too busy. Okay, maybe another family member can take the next class. Also, no additional cost. No, I don't want to do that either. I just want a refund. Now, I would have been within my rights to tell her no, read the contract. I would have been in my rights to give her a partial refund, but I didn't. I give her a full refund on the spot, and she went away happy as could be. Now, as it turned out, she was the good friend. I didn't know this at the time. Of one of the owners of this pet store that I was doing some of this business was an independent store, and he came to me. She came to me a couple of weeks later and thanked me and said, "Oh, and by the way, I heard you spoke to so and so and gave her a refund. Thank you. I love her, but she can actually at times be kind of difficult. But I felt that you handled this really in a very above and beyond sort of way." And I continued to get numerous referrals from that pet store. Now, had I told this woman to go fish, would I have lost that referral relationship? It's tough to say, but it is safe to say that it probably would have created a strain in that relationship at the very least. Would it have been worth it for the $59 that this person paid for my group class? No, even though I was really within my rights and she was being unreasonable. So you want to remember that in the greater scheme of things, you're looking to build a business, and as a dog trainer, it's really a referral business. Whether those are clients or whether those are professional referrals, reputation is key, and how you handle the difficult clients will, fairly or not fairly, be one of the things that determines what kind of reputation you have. By the way, I had another client who was an absolute nightmare, one of the most difficult clients I ever had, private lessons, where in those days, I was doing a 7-week course, but I'd give them extra lessons. The first couple of years I did this at no additional cost, if we both felt that they needed it. And I worked with this person, and they really tried, but they just couldn't get it. It was hard for them. There were some coordination issues, and I must have done 14 or 15 lessons with this person. And I just kept going back and kept going back and kept going back, and she was never happy. Never happy. And finally, I said, I can't do anymore. I gave up. Okay, and I felt like for sure this woman would never refer me to anybody. She must have sent me half a dozen people. had nothing but positive things to say, even though our dog never really got trained. It was just my willingness to go above and beyond that really struck a chord. And so if you do this, you'll find that at times it may be a tad irritating to have to put up with some of the more difficult clients, but it's just part of what you're going to do if you want to be successful in this business. Customer service kind of ties right in. Little things make a difference. If you consistently take steps to put your best face forward and do a great job, so this goes a bit beyond image now, you're going to be doing more than 80% of the competition. You want to do better? Come up with little things that satisfy your clients even more. I talked about the breed keychains earlier. First year I was in business, actually first 3 years I was in business, I used to give out breed keychains to all my clients. That is all the clients that had breeds that I had chains for. And I must have located like 40 different breeds. And they were like, I think $2.50. And I can't tell you how many people just, they adored these keychains. I swear it meant more to them than the fact that their dogs learned to listen. Now, it wasn't a $2.50 keychain. It wasn't the cost of it. It was the fact that I was just willing to give them a little bit extra. Blue ribbons to the graduates, okay? Regardless, they love that kind of stuff. Photographs. I mean, it's easier now. I mean, guys actually taking pictures and having them developed. And, I mean, now it's just, it's digital and you just email it to them. I mean, it's that much easier. Tons of trainers don't do that. Okay, they don't really bother. Be bothered. It'll be well worth it in the end. So behavior counts with clients. By the way, it also counts when building relationships with referral sources, with networking. When you're networking, you need to be prepared. Now here's the key, and this is something that a lot of people miss. Know how and why a relationship with you will benefit them. You know why it's going to benefit you. You know what you want. But what do you care what I want? Okay? I mean, that sounds harsh, but the truth is you're going to care what you want. And if I approach you in a way that lets you know that not only have I heard what you want, but I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you get what you want, and assuming I can create something that's also going to benefit me, that's going to be a relationship that's likely to go somewhere. So I'm not suggesting that you don't set up relationships that are in your own best interest. Just need to approach people from the standpoint of what you can do for them and how you can make them stand out. So go back to the veterinary hospitals. Yeah, of course I want business. That's why I'm in the hospitals. But what do you care if I want business? What you care about is you need answers to some of the questions you're getting from your clients. Can I give you that in a way that's going to work for you? If I can, you're going to give me a second look. If not, I'm just going to be like everybody else. Okay, so help them stand out and listen to what they say. Because if you listen to people, they're going to tell you what they need. And then if you can act on that, you're going to be way ahead of the game. Follow through, and I said this with clients, it's true with networking relationships as well. Follow through on all promises. It is extremely important. Reputation, reputation, reputation. Huge. Pay all money on time. Okay, some relationships with networking sources might involve referral fees. Who knows? But if it does, pay the money on time. Be punctual. And remember, if they're referring you their clients, their reputation is on the line as well. That's really important. They're also in service-related businesses. This is true with pet stores. It's also really true with veterinarians. Veterinarians spend sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars or more to set up clinics, hospitals. And then they're looking to build a reputation, one client at a time. It takes them years to build that reputation. And when they send their hard-earned clients to you, and you don't do a good job, who do you think that reflects poorly on? Well, it reflects poorly on you for certain, but it also reflects poorly on them. And that's why a lot of times veterinarians will, if they've been in the business for any length of time, be very hesitant to allow new trainers to come in and just establish relationships with them, because they need to know that it's not going to cost them when they refer their hard-earned clients to this trainer. Consistency is also really critical. Most people can be competent, professional, and friendly some of the time. The key is to strive to do this all of the time and understand, as I do, that that's an ideal. Okay, nobody's perfect. Perfection isn't ideal, but you want to really try. You also want to focus on, at least to yourself, know what your weaknesses are. you don't necessarily have to advertise that to everybody else, but if you are willing to look at yourself and recognize, okay, I could do a little better in this particular thing, that is the first step. I mean, we all have heard that cliche too. Awareness is the first step. You know what the second one is? Action. Okay? Being aware of it is one thing. That is critically important. Then you need to take legitimate actions to deal with whatever the challenges you're having. Whether it's being on time, whether it's, you know, whatever it is. Okay? So just be aware of what you need to improve and then work on it. And the bottom line is this. Success can be achieved by marketing yourself in an intelligent, well thought out fashion. Make sure your actions match your words, do a great job, add a little extra, and chances are you will be successful. Thank you. I can take other questions as well, so if anybody has any, we can do them. If not, that's okay too. No other questions.